been doing this for a while, you and I, Jim, and you've never let me down yet. So
Well,
I like that.
It's always the first time.
Well,
but it won't be this time.
Well, let's talk about this one because now they tell you that, okay, we're going to have you tackling Justice League Warworld. What's your reaction when you find that you're going to get to work on a project like this?
Well, I don't think they didn't tell us anything. That was it was Butch and I figuring out what do we want to do next, and it felt very natural to do a Trinity story after not doing one in a long time, and we also had a real yen to visit elements of the DC universe that we hadn't seen before, like the westerns and the sword and sandal stuff and the horror stuff, and Warworld seemed like a really perfect milieu to.
The French is coming out.
I Duolingo a little bit, and it seemed like a real natural fit to be able to visit those worlds, but still tell a cohesive story that involves our Trinity. And then they'll be able to come together at the end and face a big threat.
How do you work with your other writers on something like this? Obviously, these are like Jeremy.
I beat them. I'm merciless.
I just assumed that was what was with you and Jeremy because you've been working together for so long.
And Ernie.
And Ernie. But how does that work with especially when you've got these three distinctive stories you have to tell and then bring it all together?
Well, it was really fun. Josie Campbell and Ernie Altbacker and Jeremy Adams have all written on these before, and they're like a real dream team, and this felt a little bit like a victory lap that, well, here we have an opportunity to use all the writers. They all get to tell their distinct story with a beginning, middle, and end, and then they'll all join together. It ends up being like a jam session, and everybody gets a solo.
Which is great.
I just thought of that right now.
No, I like that. I like it.
Because I'm a writer,
You were part of the previous iteration of the DC animated movies that kind of concluded with Apocalypse War.
Yes.
And now you all have kind of started over. So you've been part of both worlds. How do you feel like this current iteration has progressed compared to the previous iteration when you all first started that?
Well, I would say that the Tuckerverse dipped into DC and said, I want to tell this story, I want to tell this story, I want to tell this story, and then, all building to Darkseid. And this has a similar element to that it's all building to something, but that the pieces, maybe it was not so apparent when you're watching the movies individually, but knowing what our end game was, we reverse engineered it all the way back to Man of Tomorrow. So you'll see things that are seeded in that first movie that will pay off, at the end, at the bitter, bitter end, after the animators are so exhausted, they're all ready to kill me.
Well, we can't wait to see what the payoff is for Justice League Warworld. Jim, thanks so much for taking a few minutes. Appreciate it.